trillion, million, billion, trillions of orbiting snowballs. Orbiting snowballs. Orbiting... A flat fact. A flat fact.
The realm. Do you know what the realm is? A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
At the third shift, it will be 9:50 and 10 seconds.
Gods and Monsters, The Time Apocalypse, Chapter 6, The Time Reset of 1984. This chapter will not be brought to you by a magnet. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. The speed of light is a constant, isn't it? 1984. Yes, we've heard of that year. 1984. This year was brought to collective attention after the dystopian social science fiction novel and cautionary tale by English writer George Orwell, published on 8th of June 1949. Thematically, it centres on the consequences of totalitarianism, mass surveillance, and repressive regimentation of people and behaviours within society. The Greenwich Meridian. The meridian. The term meridian comes from the Latin meridies, meaning midday, and can be used to define one's position to the path of the sun. Hear ye, midday, not sunrise or sunset. As I mentioned in Addendum 1 of the series, sunrise and sunset are very pretty, but not for measuring. The savant ancestors of the past were very clever. The abbreviations for AM and PM when noting time referred to ante-meridium and post-meridium. Ante before midday and post after midday. This midday is not 12 o'clock on the clock. It is when the sun is at the midday position. The equinox is measured at midday. We are told that the early explorers could not work out a longitude because they did not have accurate clocks. This is a repeated story of the realm. We can see all these lines on maps that we call longitude today. These are meridians. There are the meridians and the prime meridian. In the early 17th century, Louis XIII, King of France during the years 1610 to 1643, and Cardinal Richelieu decided that the Faro meridian would be referenced as a prime meridian on maps in France. This needs to be kept in mind when taking any measurements of the Stargates of the blind, the triumphal arches in France. The Faro meridian intersects El Hierro of the Canary Islands. "100 years before 1984, the Greenwich Prime Meridian." The Prime Meridian was first established by Sir George Airy in 1851, and by 1884, over 2/3 of all the ships and tonnage used it as reference meridian on their charts and maps. Ships. I was taught the reason for the Greenwich Prime Meridian was trains and train timetables. In October of that year, 1884, at the behest of US President Chester A. Arthur, 41 delegates from 25 nations met in Washington, D.C. for the International Meridian Conference. This conference selected the meridian passing through Greenwich as the world standard prime meridian due to its popularity. Popularity? That's a good reason to change the prime meridian. So all the clocks needed to line up with the new prime meridian. However, France abstained from the vote, and French maps continued to use the Paris meridian for several decades. So they had to change their clocks later. And then, after 100 years, Rest in peace, Greenwich. The time reset of 1984. The prime meridian for 100 years of the Greenwich meridian became obsolete in 1984. The prime meridian was moved just a little bit, 5.3 arc seconds to the east. 5.3 arc seconds. Did you get the memo? The prime meridian was replaced and time was reset to utilize Universal Coordinated Time, UTC, and the Geographical Positioning System, GPS, to determine a position in time and space. And a little known bit of this is that the measurement is now measured at midnight. Midnight, when it's dark. Once upon a reset, the light ruled time, the dark now runs time. Fiat Lux, let there be light. In 1984, Big Brother indeed took over. All computer programs use UTC. Congratulations to us. We've built a world that is run by a computer. Your phone and your computer will automatically adjust to the UTC time zones. It is very efficient and the money loves it. The 1884 reset and the 1984 reset are just a little sample of the adjustments, the resets in the time of mankind. Is there a true meridian? And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years."